Finlay Asher is a climate campaigner and an aerospace engineer at Safe Landing. Finlay, morning. Thank you for coming on.
Morning.
So
Thanks
these
for having
plans,
me on.
they're epic plans here. They're huge. What do you make of them?
Well, yeah, so I'm part of a community of aviation workers and enthusiasts. We love flying. We really want to be able to do that in another 20, 30 years. But we do think that the plans to expand Heathrow, both of the plans, are a flight in the wrong direction. I think what we need instead is a positive vision for the future of air travel that genuinely benefits society, the economy, workers, and the planet. If you think about it, the government does have some choices here when it comes to industrial strategy. We can go for the conventional way, upgrade these large, massive long-haul hubs like Heathrow, or we could have a more agile strategy in terms of that's quicker, creating a more distributed network of regional airports and looking at the future of technology, things like electric or hydrogen aircraft. We think that is the real way to boost the economy, to generate jobs, and to put the UK at the forefront of the future of air travel.
Finlay, some of those things are still a long way off. Hydrogen and electric aircraft, still to get those to the kind of size we need for commercial, it's a long way. We're talking a long time away. This, though, according to Heathrow, is deliverable, and they can do it in 10 years.
Well, I think it's actually it's a lot more than 10 years. 10 years is the fastest in any of the plans to get the first runway up and not any of the terminals. I think you're really looking into the 2040s. The types of aircraft and technology I'm talking about will see the first being certified within the next 5 years. We already have some airlines looking at flights across Europe. So this is definitely something that's going to happen, and the technology will evolve a little bit like electric cars 15 years ago. And I think that the important thing to remember is we're going to open Heathrow potentially in 15 years' time. And at that point, air travel will be the largest single emitter and sector in the UK economy. There'll be a lot of pressure on it, and there will need to be regulations. And then the question is, can we even fly from Heathrow in the quantities of air traffic that Heathrow are planning for? And what does that mean for business models? And then if that doesn't come through, what does that mean for workers? And what does that mean for the UK economy at that point?
Heathrow wouldn't be putting this bid in if it didn't think it could afford and do it.
Well, I've actually spoken to previous Heathrow CEOs. There's a new one in. If you ask them how they're planning, what they're planning for future carbon pricing, the future of these alternative fuels, their strategy is to say we're going to lobby the government to give us lots of money for these. But honestly, if you look at the figures, and I've looked at these in detail, you're looking at like 5 times the cost for these types of fuels. And that just isn't factored into business models around these airports, looking at what planned air traffic growth is.
Yeah, the growth around jobs, there is a benefit for around here, which is a lot more jobs.
Well, I think you're looking at construction jobs, and obviously there's a lot of things around the UK that need to be constructed. When we're looking at new homes, we're looking at insulating homes, installing heat pumps. We actually have a shortage of skills when it comes to construction jobs. So what I'm talking about instead is developing new high-tech technology that can be used in the UK but also exported to the rest of the world, and that will have lots of knock-on benefits to other sectors of the economy. You know, if you develop electric motors, and batteries and control systems, these things have knock-on wider benefits and uses in other sectors too.
Yeah. Finlay, thank you so much for coming on. Really interesting stuff. Finlay Asher there, climate campaigner, also aerospace engineer at Safe Landing.